All right, then. Let me go and fix everything up. So, let's see. We are switching to a new subject. Also, let me take things a step back. Hi. It has been a week. Hold on. Song's really getting on my nerves. There we go. Something a little easier. So hi, yeah, it's been a week. I was out last Tuesday. I was watching Hamilton, the Broadway production, and it was insanely good. I'm pretty into musicals, but like even then, like I kind of like thought, oh, you know, it's been a while since I was a huge Hamilton fan. Since then, I've watched a lot of videos breaking it down, kind of what Hamilton gets right, gets wrong. And I was like, you know what? I'm still gonna go try to have a good time. We'll see. And then, like, as soon as the show started, I was like, oh, I'm really into this. And by the end of it, like, I was nearly in tears, as, you know, weird as that is sometimes. Yeah, I was like holding back tears. Because it's just, you know, it gets there. It's emotional. And then the day before that, because I accidentally bought tickets for a concert that happened the day before the Hamilton performance. So I went to the Injury Reserve Armand Hammer Akai solo concert in Durham. And wow, that was great. That was a really good one. That was only my second concert, so the first one I went to was the Tyler the Creator concert that happened at the start of May, I think. And that was like, you know, huge stadium, giant, lots of people. And that one kind of, like, I really liked it. The music, the performances, everything was great. But I think something about my brain is like a little bit too obsessed with other people and how they're seeing me. Why does it seem like my mic is really loud? I don't remember changing any settings, but hopefully it's not too bad. I'm thinking maybe it reset like my noise gate, and I really hope not. Anyways, not the point. Let me just go and summarize it. Big concert, really good performance, but like my anxiety was kind of just like distracting me a bit during the quieter moments. And so going to a smaller concert, a much smaller concert, I had a much better time. Just as far as like the anxiety goes. And then the music, the performance is also amazing. It was a lot more personal too with the Injury Reserve. Like they were just like walking through like the entire time, and like I could have touched them and reached out and touched them, which was like really weird. Like I kind of just like locked up because I was like, hey, here's this, you know, person that I've been listening to for like years and have like all this emotional attachment to, just walking by like they're not like the superhero in my eyes, like just so casually. It's like, how dare they walk? How dare they breathe without like, you know, anyways. But yeah, good time. Then Hamilton, amazing, nearly tears. I had a very good week. And today I'm doing pretty terribly, to be honest, but we're gonna still do drawings because I like drawing no matter what mood I'm in. That kind of put me in a better mood, just talking about last week. So, okay, we are finished with Masa. Let me go and pull her up just for old time's sake. I changed the title, right? Yeah. I think I need to change the title of the stream, but I think I have to do that a little later. I forgot to stop and actually do that. Yes, there she is. Masa herself. So I made a few critiques to myself as far as like it being finished now. I've done a little bit more research. I'm actually working on some projects on my own that I guess I can just show on Hold on. 1 second. Yeah, I'm just working on some stuff that aren't going to be on stream, just for me to have some more digital practice and get better at how I'm doing this. Specifically, I just need to get a little bit better with my color harmony and stuff like that, and the lighting. That's always been an issue. I mean, I think like high school, I already knew like, hey, I'm getting better at anatomy, but I still have like shortcomings when it comes to like lighting and like understanding how shadows work. And now like years later, and I'm like, hey, I still have that problem. I can do okay with shadows now, but it's still just like in the back of my head that it's something I really need to just like stress that muscle over and over again until I finally get it like second nature. Anyways. So I like this. I think there's still some things I could have done, but yeah. You also have to learn how to move on from a piece and not like obsess over it. So Mouse is done, especially since I still got like another 7-8 more vampires to draw, so there's no time for tears here. Only draw. Okay, so I already sketched out this character, and as well as a few more characters coming on. So let me show you. Here we have some of the let me see how that looks on camera. Okay. We have some like little thumbnail sketches I did before I drew Masa. The pose is almost completely different because I ended up making it less awkward, but also more awkward at the same time. Sorry, trying to figure out how to get it on camera. Everything's flipped. But yeah. Then originally she had an entirely different one, but I ended up switching that for another character that's going to come down the line that I think it works better for. So I have a few thumbnails lined up for what we're going to be doing. Let me go ahead and pull out those. So I have the next, this one that we're going to start today, as well as, let me double check. I forget the order of my own vampires. I'm checking it out on my DeviantArt because I have it pretty decently organized on my DeviantArt. Where are we? Okay, so yeah, now we are on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is Kai, the Brujah. And then after that, we got Monica, and then Talib from the Ministry. That's the one that's going to be a little tough because I only got like a general idea of what I want to go for. But then as soon as I'm done with that, I have Chances already lined up. I'm extremely excited for Chance. Romeo, extremely excited for Romeo. And then I have more thinking to do. Omar is going to be a little bit of a tough one to Salubri. Then I got Sierra, the Ventru. Yeah, I got a lot more vampires to work on, is the point. I'm just talking about pictures. So let me pull up this one. So yeah, this is what we're going to be doing this time around. I need to see the camera so I can show you guys. Yeah. Here we go. That's pretty good. So yeah, we're gonna be doing the basically Kai like in the middle, or I guess at the end of a speech, once again reminiscing about Carthage. Is that what it's? Yeah, Carthage. And dreaming of a new one. His idea is to like make it in the Texas area. I think because I imagine Texas being like this big open area with nothing but desert, because that's what it is in every movie. So like there's plenty of room to like develop a city there. I think there's a statistic saying like the entirety of the United States can fit into just Texas. If it was like actually like all just like mega apartments, or not even mega apartments, I think like just regular sized apartments. apartment buildings, not even like the super, you know, like 24 floor apartments, just like 4 floor apartments. You could fit like the entirety of America into just Texas. Okay. I think that's all of the prep work we need to do. We can just probably drop right into drawing now. I can stop rambling. I think everything's charged on my tablet and everything. I've been keeping my tablet out on my desk, and that's been really really helpful for like inspiring me to draw a little bit more. Just having all my stuff like already here. All right, so we got a background layer. I'm gonna make like 2 layers. So first, let's make it this not bright white so it's not blinding me while I work on it. Bah. Wow, that flood fill took forever. The flood fills, I don't know if it's just Krita, but it takes like way too long. This is a little too dark. I need just like an off-white. That way it's like not completely blinding. I think warm steel is gonna be the one. I named some of these colors just like to give them like a connotation in my own head. Like I'm Crayola and I'm making apricot crayons. Okay, I think that's good. Just one more try. Just one more color. Because these flood fills take forever. Okay. Oh, whoop, whoop, whoop. There it is. Yeah, that one I like, actually. I actually really like that color. It's like a minty... What do I call it? That's rosy. I mean, it's slightly pinkish, I guess. I'm reviewing the colors, different shades of white. I'm like the Pantone people. All right, let's see, pencils. Ooh, I switched up my hotkeys, so that should be upping too. Let's see, I think this is the color picker. This is the brush mode, so I can actually just grab a color super quickly. Because I've noticed that I do that actually a ton. Especially during the coloring phase, like I'm always grabbing the color and then losing the color and then needing to grab it again. I forgot that I had a brush size hotkey, which is slightly obnoxious because I like trying to keep it to like set numbers, so I know what number to return to when I come back to a drawing later. Yeah. All right. So, where's my sketchbook? Let me just have my thumbnail sketch out in front of me so I know what I'm doing. So the plan for this one is just he's in the middle, or again, he's finishing up a grand speech and like basking in the applause from the other Brujah. So obviously, like, if you know Vampire the Masquerade lore, the entire idea of the Anarchs is that they don't have any hierarchy, any like hard hierarchy, I guess. But I made a Brujah who is basically like as close as you can get to a primogen. I think that's what they called the like foremost character of a clan. So like the representative of an entire clan within the city. So like this is the guy you go to if you want to have anything to do with the Brujah. Like Nines is like every thing I've seen with Nines from Vampire the Masquerade, he's like everybody like knows he's the leader of the Anarchs in that area, but like he never accepts that he's the leader. This is kind of that situation, except he is more, this Kai is more than happy to be the leader character. He basks in that glory, much to the detriment of anybody who opposes him. So he's got his arms out wide. We're probably gonna make this bigger, stretch it out, change the angle too, because it looks like we're like. It looks like we're looking up to him from his crotch, which I guess kind of works too, thematically. Because that's kind of what he would want anyways. And then behind him, there's kind of like this vision of a new Carthage. So I drew out like a painting of Carthage. There's like a pretty good drawing of Carthage. Pretty good. Way better than anything I could do drawing of Carthage. I'm calling like ancient art that has lived centuries. Pretty good. But it's just like he's like standing in front of those like giant gym mirrors. Like how they have like walls of mirrors so you can check your posture and everything. So he's standing in front of one of those on maybe like a weightlifting podium. Probably should have done all that in the background, like in a new layer. I'm definitely gonna have to make him higher because he's like 6 foot, like 7 or something like freakish. He's a big boy. My idea with his design was that he like vampires and Vampire the Masquerade can be insanely strong without showing it, and this is a character that is both supernaturally strong and also just strong. Like he is a massive brick house of a human, or I guess not a human, a kindred. And there's also going to be like a crowd cheering him on. I think not a huge crowd. Like it's just like a few heads and arms. There's my pen. I couldn't find it. Just a few heads and like arms looking up to him. Okay, so we got a foreground, a midground, and a background. Oh, hold on. I gotta do some more for the background. I forgot that there's the whole Carthage thing. So you can see behind him, like, while he's talking about Carthage, it's almost as if you can actually, like, see what he's envisioning behind him. I'll make it, like, blurry and stuff so you can tell, like, it's not actually on the mirror. Or you can infer that it's not actually on the mirror. Yeah. I really like the idea. The 5th edition of Vampire the Masquerade has like a lot of interesting lore sheets that can like help you inspire your character, as well as have like actual mechanical value. And one of the ones that like caught my eye was about Carthage and how like your character can be a character that like is always in the background working towards making Carthage a new Carthage, which in Vampire the Masquerade lore is like the only time and period where vampires and humans live together in harmony. It was mostly a Brujah, and I don't remember what else. I think it might have been Brujah Toreador, I want to say. Gangrel? I can't remember all the clans. I just know for sure Brujah. Okay. going to turn him down. And then we're going to work on a slightly more detailed version. There's a fly in my room and it's really bothering me. I don't know if I should keep going with this angle. The angle of him is kind of... I think it's a bit much. It makes everybody look like they're literally like at his waist level, which is extreme. I think I'm gonna... I think I can just like flatten him out without having to completely change the... And I'm probably gonna make him even bigger because I want him to take up like almost the entire page, or you can like really get a close look at him. Or maybe not. We'll see. I got an itchy. It like tickles right in my nose. Oh, I never selected a different brush. I haven't even grabbed my eraser yet. I think he's gonna be slightly cocked where his hips are like facing this side. So he's like twisting, like presenting like he's not just like his body isn't like facing the camera directly. I always refer to it as a camera, and I don't know if there's another word for it. I think of directing terms. Oh, I'm also using like a brown color. I think it's reminding me of like I've seen a lot of people who use like burnt umber or even just like a red coloring pencil for like the underdrawing of a painting, because the red warm colors mix really well with like whatever, like usually flesh tones, but just generally most things. Like it's really easy to either paint over or blend with. And I mean, I've been using the light blues as like a pseudo non-photo blue but I don't actually use that process. It's mostly just been a thing I see other people do, so I should do it too. But this makes a little bit more sense to me. I think still it's not really gonna matter because I'm probably gonna keep ink over this again anyways. But you know, we're experimenting. We're trying new stuff. Like I said, I took a look at I'm kind of always like tweaking my process, but I recently did a bit more research on some other things I could try. Mark Brunet's usually my go-to for instructions. Is he facing the camera? Yeah, that makes sense. Hold on 1 second. Okay. So the concept with this character, Kai, is that he's kind of the I haven't done enough research into this, but there's a subclass of Brujah called a Trua. I think some people make it like an entirely different bloodline. I'm not sure if that's exactly accurate. I think it's more of just like a different philosophy within the clan, but maybe they just switch it up like that so they can have better stats that work for their character. Because the idea is that they're, instead of just being like the brute characters of the vampire universe, they're the philosopher kings. So like they're more of the war strategists, you know, the Sun Tzu types. And I think that's a really like interesting aspect to the character, where it's like they're only known as brutes, but like there's this like underpinning of like historical context where they were always the ones built for war, and like the knowledge that came with that. So you could have like your traditional brute characters, but you could also have the warrior poet, you know, like the super strong guy that also is intelligent. And so with this character, I wanted to do something like that, but kind of his personality would be something where it's like they think they're like a superior being, you know, like they think they're literally above everybody because they've honed their body and honed their intelligence, you know, like analyzing history into like this perfect weapon. But in reality, what it reflects is like his own shortcomings. And it just makes him like this super prideful, toxic person to be around. Kind of like people who are way too into Joe Rogan. Where he's super buff and he goes to the gym. And then like he also read book. Which I don't know if Joe Rogan reads books. I think he just says that. I don't know. Who knows? But I think there's because, you know, I was into Joe Rogan for a time. I think a lot of people were. But he clearly, like, went off the deep end during COVID. And maybe there were signs before that, but there was, like, a brief time where is it, like, a place for, you know, somebody to talk about going to the gym and working on yourself and improving your physical body, while also, like, having on all these, like, scientists and, like, people that at least presented themselves as intelligent. And you know, who is actually intelligent. Certainly not the man who talks about monkeys and LSD. And definitely not me, because I barely know what I'm saying. So yeah, this is kind of like I think this actually reflects that really well, where it's like the type of person who, like, because they have like such a they're in such good shape and have such like a vast historical knowledge, they think they are literally impervious to being wrong. Like they think they can never be wrong because they have done so much work on themselves. They forget that like part of intelligence is like recognizing that you won't know everything. They're just like, they just skip over that. They're like, yeah, but I read book, so brain big to be wrong. Brain literally too big. Okay, I love this pose. It's so ridiculously grand. Let me tweak it just a bit though. I still like what I had originally a little better. Dude, I hate like messing with my nose every few seconds. No. Whatever, we're good. But yeah, that's the idea of this character. I want this character who would be so insanely confident and arrogant that it would be almost like suffocating. But it would be very hard to like look at his like figure and just be like, yeah, but he's not all that. Like he's got a lot of muscle to prove that he can back it up. And then like he would be, you know, there's a reason why I have him as the like closest thing to a primogen or a leader to the anarchs in his area, which is because he actually is intelligent. His backstory is that he was a historian that got obsessed with working out his body as well as his mind. So he actually does know like how to organize and create armies and battle. But his like the hole in his armor essentially is that he refuses to believe that he's ever wrong, or he's forgotten what it's like to be wrong. And it's actually like led him to sacrifice pieces that he thought he could ignore for like small victories. And he's like kind of obsessed with this idea of Carthage and like is making every move he can to get to this new Carthage. That it's kind of worked against him. Okay, so that's the idea. I really like the idea. I don't know what it is about it. I think the arrogance is like really fun to like think of, like somebody so insanely cocky and then also so insanely intimidating, so there's not a lot you can do about it. But then there's that little chip, there's that little flaw where, you know, there's this gap in his logic that once it's exploited, it's like the most satisfying thing, where you see like his dream crumble because he thought he was above it. I think it's an interesting aspect of the universe of Masquerade where pretty much everybody is like flawed and like so insanely flawed in every way. So like, even though you could definitely argue that the anarchs are always right and Camarilla are the clear villains, it's still somehow like everybody ends up being wrong. The anarchs are wrong, the Camarilla are wrong, the Sabbat are, I think we can pretty much all agree that Sabbat are wrong. Constant diablerie is just not the greatest system. Eating the rich makes sense. Eating the rich and the poor, that's a little much. I think this is right proportionally. It's a little extreme, but that's kind of the point. That's kind of the character. We can slim him down just a bit. I think he does look a little too top heavy, just a touch too top heavy. And I'm trying to think if it's correct. Because he is also supposed to have not only wide, but also long proportions. I think the hand might be a little huge. My nose keeps tickling. How do we look flipping? That's the wrong button. Sorry, I'm trying to make them like slightly match up, even though they're like on different sides and they probably shouldn't. But this is the session now. That's why I make everything off-white instead of like completely white, because my eyes are starting to get really fracked up. 1 second. My eyes. Oh god. I think that worked. It'd be really embarrassing if that didn't work. Okay. Forgot I had a sparkling water. All right, how are we looking? I think we're pretty much as even as it should be. Because obviously one side's going to be bigger because it's literally like facing the camera more. I say as I'm about to try to fix it anyways. We can turn that off. Yeah, I think we're good on that one. So let's cut off his arm in a way that doesn't sound so terrible. Oh, come on. I was on the wrong layer, so it just cut off like the image that's not even on the screen. There we go. So let's see if we could just make it like slightly smaller without like being noticeably smaller. No. This isn't working. This is looking silly. Cancel that plan. We're just gonna... I think we're just gonna make it the... No. Okay, now I think we're there. No, you do his feet just a bit. Okay. I think we could probably leave him there at that size too. I think he's pretty much big enough. Let me see. This is like a smaller version of it, but I'm just trying to wanted to check real quick. Kind of like the scale of the character. I could probably go bigger on him just a bit. We'll see. Let's try it. And then we could just like lower him. I don't care if his feet don't fit in entirely. Might make him like just as wide as possible, and then like whatever his height is whatever his height is. Like it just happens that way. Probably not that wide. I don't want to actually like him touching the borders. And I think that's especially going to cause problems later on. I think on the thumbnail he's a lot lower. Yeah, like his head's like around the middle of the screen, so we can just go like right here. There you go. I think that's good. It's basically as wide as we want him. He's a thick boy. And I mean, he's a bodybuilder more. Like, it's more of the physical intimidation rather than the actual, like, strength. Weightlifters actually usually have, like, a big gut, and that's, like, actually useful for strength. To have a heavy midsection. So if you see somebody with, like, built abs and, like, really thin waist, like, that's usually somebody that's bodybuilding. It isn't necessarily applicable strength. They probably could still beat you up, just, you know, maybe not a actual weightlifter they couldn't beat up. They might have more stamina though. Just, you know, my perspective as a schlubby dude who's never gotten into a fight. I've gotten into a few fights when I was like a kid. But I generally don't like getting hurt. Getting hurt sucks. Big bad. Oop. Kind of like him being that high. But I want to leave room for Carthage to also like be there. We can probably tweak it. He also gets skinnier. Let's lift him up a little bit. Like there. We're still, okay, yeah. Yeah, and I don't think I'm going to have that really heavy angle on the mirror either. I think I'm probably going to make that flat too. Just like how this one had the original. Come on. There we go. The original line art for this has like a. The original line art has like a kind of a tilt to him where you can see him from below. I'm trying to figure out the words for it. A below camera angle. There's a word for it, a worm's eye camera angle. This one's just flat, like you're just looking straight at him. And I think I'm going to do the same with the mirror, where right now it looks like you're looking at it from below like a worm. But I'm just going to straighten it out. Anyways. So let's try to get his face down. There we go. What's his face look like in the thumbnail? Very determined, very self-assured. Making the brush bigger. Wow, I'm getting very sleepy. I got like 5 hours of sleep. I might take a nap once I'm done with this stream. I'm not really a nap kind of person, but you do what you gotta do to survive. Alright, I almost forgot he had a beard. He's got like a very big beard. I think I was also thinking of like him intentionally trying to model himself after like old Greek philosophers with like their big beards. So it's like a very intentional choice where he's trying to look like he's trying to like physically make himself look like what he thinks were intelligent people he thinks were like ideal people, intelligent. His ideal of intelligent. There we go. Like, this is the type of guy that would be like the Western nations, you know, the Western Empire and Judeo-Christian values. Like, this would be that kind of guy. Which is why I kind of made him the douchebag. I think it's also kind of like, I go to the gym pretty regularly, and sometimes I can have some of these aspects in myself where I think, oh, I work out, I'm the greatest human being that has ever existed because I went to the gym twice a week. So I think it's kind of like, I see some of that in myself, and I project it a bit. And, you know, I kind of hate it when I do it too, so that's why I disparage these kind of people. Like, I have this, I think most people have it where they see somebody that's like really built, you know, like physically just impeccable, and they're like, you know what, he looks good, but he's probably a terrible human. Like, he's probably like doesn't, you know, do anywhere near as much research as I do, or, you know, isn't nearly as smart as I am or nice as I am, you know, because, you know, I have that kind of brain sometimes. And then like I have to like stop myself and be like, wait, you are literally judging somebody you don't know anything about. Like, stop being like that. Stop doing that. It's literally not healthy, and it's just rude. Some of those come out. I forgot why I brought that up. Oh, I think this is kind of like my perspective of like that kind of character. The guy who goes to the gym way too much, and then also like thinks of themselves as a super smart person. So maybe me. I'm not obsessed with the gym. I just go twice a week. Like, it's whatever. And then like thinks they're like a superior human. It's like checking myself. I don't actually think I'm very smart. I think I've had plenty of sessions where I say the exact opposite. But it's kind of like my way of like checking myself to like make sure I'm not getting too much of an ego. This is a person who does not hide that. This is like the dark me. The person who watches like 3 video essays and thinks they're the smartest man that has ever graced the earth. This is like what my ego thinks of me in like my best moments. Although my ego also likes to completely abuse my self-image. So, you know, there's that too. I've heard the people who have like the worst opinions of themselves are those people who like do so much bodybuilding because like all they do is like look at themselves in the mirror and reflect on what they need to change and fix about themselves. I mean, I don't think like all bodybuilders like completely have like such an unhealthy view of themselves, but generally I think it's the idea is there where it's like, because you do have to like look at which aspects of your body are like not as sculpted as the other parts. So like me, like I like literally look at myself, I'm like, well, you know, like my bicep could be a little bit more toned here, or, you know, like I could work on this and that. And it's like, that can be, you can do that in a healthy way, and then you can do that in a very, very unhealthy way. And I think for the most part, it's probably the unhealthy way, most people. And that's not a judgment, that's like just what all humans do. Well, who knows? It's just me, a video game nerd, trying to think of how the world works without actually like experiencing the world, because the world's scary. The world kind of cringe. I think I've just been tweaking the muscles for no reason, just like blindly for like the past like 5 minutes. I think I've completely even forgotten if any of these muscles are correct now. I'm just drawing lines. Oh, no, I'm back. I know what I'm doing. There's like a weird line of muscles here where it like really emphasizes the root. I make fun of Joe Rogan, but there's also like something I heard from his podcast, like the penis root. Like there's guys who like wear their shorts and pants so low where you can see the abs, and there's like this just enough where you can see just barely like the lines that go right above your crotch. So they like wear their pants like that low to show off their muscles, and it's like, hey man, kind of weird. Oh, hi. You caught me at a weird moment talking about people with their pants too low. There we go. There we go. All right, I think that's good for the anatomy. I think if anything, I spent too much time on the anatomy. I'm gonna make him slightly less visible so I can draw the clothes over him. So with this character, I have like made him like the biggest exaggeration of like a meat muscle head. So he has like one of those shirts with like where it's almost like entirely like cut off. The sleeves are cut off like entirely. I'm repeating myself. Which those like really weird baggy tops that basically is just like an excuse to show off all their muscles. Does it come from a place of jealousy? Maybe. You know, what are you, my therapist? Yeah, he has like I don't know what to call it. It's like a shirt where they literally like cut off all the sleeve. Like they cut off all this area of the shirt. So it's like not just like sleeveless, because if you just cut off the sleeves, it would be like right here. But like some people like cut it all the way down. So like it's basically just like the neck, and then it's just a strip down. So like even your chest like pokes out of the shirt. So why are they even wearing a shirt in the first place? Who knows? Then I think I just gave him leggings. Because why wouldn't he show off his massive thighs? His watermelon cracking thighs. this character is more than any other character, like all just like physical intimidation. I don't know what the max strength is in Vampire the Masquerade, but this character would be that. Do I have his legs right? Oh, I think I messed up his legs. I think the other leg should be... No, actually, I think we're good. I forgot I was drawing clothes. He's not wearing a lot of clothes. He just wears like the leggings, this shirt that's barely even a shirt. Hold on. I can just pull up the actual character sheet too. I forgot. Where is he? Here it is. So there's the character. Oh, and so I've explained that he's like he was studying to be a historian that also got obsessed with bodybuilding. Is like his backstory. Back in like the 1940s or 30s, I can't remember the moment. 1960s actually. But in his modern nights, he's like he owns like a chain of gyms in Texas, so like he's basically owns like a Planet Fitness type gym, and that's where he does like all his recruiting for like Brujah. Like he's got like an entire army of like bodybuilding Brujah. And I like the idea that he's like he does the exercise not because it like actually shows up, because in Vampire the Masquerade you don't really grow muscle anymore because you're dead. You're a dead being, undead. But he still does it like as a meditation kind of thing. So he's like, he gets into like his grand philosophies and stuff while working out. Is it kind of silly? Yes. No further questions. No. So yeah, it's just like this shirt that only covers up like, I don't know, his abs, barely. Then the leggings. Then he has some just some nice Converses. I hear that Converses are really good because they're flat-footed, and that's good for weightlifting. So that's why that's one of the reasons why I chose Converses. I also just draw Converses a lot because they're very easy shoes to draw. These are like the little weights that he uses. Oh, I also had the idea where his gym is called Animal Fitness, and the A is like an anarchy symbol, specifically the Brujah symbol. But that's how he kind of like hides his like clan ties into his like into the public. Like he sneaks it in that way. I think it's there's a lot of characters that like look for those ways to sneak in their kindred kindred aspects. And then yeah, this is where the idea comes from, where he's in these little small sketches that I have down here. I'm kind of blending these bottom two drawings over here, where you see him like thinking of Carthage as the philosopher king type, as well as him doing like a big rally at one of his gyms. So that's what this is going to be, like a mix of the both. Probably going to give him a bigger smile. I was trying to avoid zooming in, but now I want to get like some better face details. Oh, let me make his smile even bigger. I'm playing it subtle. We can go big with a smile. Does he have a big mouth? None of these really show off his mouth much, but I think it's because of his beard. We can go small. I think I give people big mouths too often. So like that. That's like a moderately sized mouth. I think because a lot of anime or people who draw in an anime style always have like the tiniest mouths, because that's just like a very easy way to make characters look cute. So like I've built up like a resistance to it, where like I always make characters with huge mouths. So sometimes I get annoyed when my characters don't look as cute as everybody else's, but I don't want to change anything. Oh, his face is really tiny now. Oops. Yeah, we can fix that later. Hold on. Let me at least finish the face, and then we can like size it up. Do I give him the little? Oh no. So I have this thing in my beard where I have like a little gap underneath, where it reaches underneath my lip. I don't know what it's called. And a lot of characters with beards, I always draw without the same gap because that's what I have. But this character, I went complete caveman. Like there's like no exposed flesh around his mouth. He's trying to go like straight Socrates, beard. Does Socrates have a beard? I mean, he's dead, so he's got nothing. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's that level of beard is what this guy has, which is also intentional. I'm getting lost. Where are the layers? This shirt. These are all the audience members. Okay, that's the layer we're working on. Oh, why? Why did it do that? I'm getting too worked up on details already. Let's just try to get a beard and leave it there. Just nice fangs. That's all we need. There we go. All right, let's get Socrates out of here. I'm gonna make his face a little bigger because he has like a tiny Charlie Kirk face. His face takes up the entire page now. Just slightly. I think I shrunk his face just a little bit on accident. So I'm trying to make up for it. Why is it locking? I don't like that. I think that did something. Yeah, okay. Then we're just gonna merge it right back in. Like nothing ever happened. Select, deselect. Pencil. Alright, I think that's all the lines for character I need to worry about. We'll worry about the rest of the details later. I always feel like the head is so small. Like I can never get that many details. We'll worry about it later. Oh, I'm gonna work on the background for a bit. We'll probably work on it, change the size of the character, like near the end. So I'm just gonna fade this one into the background. And just like completely start from scratch on the background. Let's make it like a 12 brush. Hang on. Doesn't have to be exact, but at least, you know, relatively centered. There we go. Get that out of here. Get the guide out of here. Now that we're here, now I'm noticing that the character needs to be lowered a bit. What in the world? Oops. I need to group these layers together. He ascends. Whee! Jesus. Got really laggy there for a second. He descends. Where do I put him? Think like right here. And maybe we can go ahead and take this time to make him bigger. I'm trying to, I don't, because his arms are like so widespread, I don't know if it's gonna look weird if his hands like cut off. Maybe we can like off-center him a bit. So like you can at least see like one hand. That makes sense. So like you can present the, where is it? You can present like Carthage in the background. Can I make it like a different color? Make it look like Goofy. So you can tell that's something different. That works. So like you can see like Carthage in the background, and then he's like off-centered, so you're like presenting it. How big was Masa? I want like that big. Although now looking at it, her head is a little too big. Because that's the issue. Like I always want like enough room for the character so you can see the face details. But then it ends up working against me where the head's humongous. And I think the answer is you got to get the angle right. 1 second. I'm just going to look at some other art real quick for inspiration. I don't know about any other artists, but I'm always like on DeviantArt and Instagram looking at like different artists and how they do things. Like, I'm constantly looking for inspiration for stuff. I think waist up. I think for characters where you really want to see the details, you either go like waist up or bust. And I think waist up is good. And we're almost there. We're like knees up. So we can maybe go even wider. What would it look like if he was just like taking up the waist space? Like right here. I think that's a step too far. I think we're going to keep it here. Although he does need to move a little bit to the left, right. Because I want at least one hand to stay there. And I think I want him off-centered just a bit. There we go. This feels like a comic book cover. Because the comic book covers, they have like, they always have like an active foreground, an active midground, an active background. Where you're supposed to like look in all the details. I think people who are a little technical about art will say that that's too much, too cluttered and stuff like that. But in comic books, like you are actually supposed to read all the information within a drawing. It's like a different medium, so it depends on whether or not you're trying to like story tell within a single image. You get a little bit more leeway with how much you can clutter an image. It's also about how you direct the eye. I swear I'm making sense. I'm not just being crazy. Alright, let me go and make all these into a line art group. I'm gonna make that a background group just for fun. Boop, 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 boop. Press the wrong button. Or let's keep that sketch actually, because line art is what I call the inks. Then we're gonna make it a multiply. There we go. Not really any reason. Not yet, anyways. Okay, so is there anything we gotta do before we move on? Oh, I need to draw Carthage. I forgot. That's just like the initial sketch. I am gonna do this on an earlier layer. I deleted it and I don't think I should have done that. I'm just gonna keep it for posterity. Okay. Okay. So he's off-centered, he's off-screen. Again, I might make him even lower. Like I keep thinking, there's just not a lot of room for stuff. What is happening? Oh, I see. Okay. I think that's good. Now I can stop whining. Then let me look at my reference sketch. So Carthage, at least from what I can tell from like a painting, is like shaped like this. There was like a tower island kind of thing that is in the foreground. Lighthouse. It had like a wall. Then just like countless buildings. I'm definitely not going to draw all the buildings. I think I'm just going to take like chalk on. Just like chalk and make like little squares. That all lead up to like a more prominent temple at the top. That'd be like the center of like the entire city. Oh, there's also like this It's really grand. I think it was like a market, but it was like this giant circle building. And there was just like a ton of markets in here. But that also might just be something I made up in my head. It just looked like where I would put markets. Might even be like a coliseum, but I got no idea. Oh, it's got like a river. So the walls actually like are cutting through the water. Okay. And yeah, this will be cleaned up and made a little bit more artsy. And I'm gonna make it like faded so it looks like it's kind of just like a hallucination. So it's like this illusion that he's giving off that you can see just from his words. Because like I said, he's like a historian who's like obsessed with like ancient empires and stuff. So he'd like be able to go on like for hours just talking about this grand village, especially knowing like kindred history. Like he would talk about how it was the perfect harmony between kindred and kind, how humans and vampires, and how they lived in harmony, and how everybody, all Brujah are like is like a lineage of kings. And that they will all stand equal. You know, stuff like that. I think we are good. Ooh, I keep doing that really early. Like I've barely started. This one I'm actually kind of fine with throwing away because it's literally like a few circles and lines. Okay. Whoa. I increased the brush size to 50 on accident. Now let's take the reference out for now. What is that? Hello? Hello? When did this happen? Huh? I'm really confused. I don't know where this came from. What? Oh, I'm in the wrong one. This one. That's super annoying. Okay. That was an annoying little distraction. Back to this. Hello? Oh, it's on eraser for some reason. Trying to draw somebody clapping and stick figure. This guy's like hollering. They're at a gym. Of course they can't be quiet. This is just like a fist of somebody that's not even on screen. This guy's like clenching his fist, screaming like, yeah. Like he's fist pumping. Gonna change his head so he's like looking up more. And these guys are gonna be like completely blurry, so like they're not gonna matter at all. They're just gonna be like colors. Oh god. I'm gonna lift this guy higher. Hang on. Kind of want to shift his weight a little back, like he's leaning back. I think I kind of lost that somehow. Oh, I think it's because his like abs are moving the wrong way. He looks like his abs look like they're just like flat. But if you're like stretching back like that, then they'd push out. Like that. Crap. So like that's where his abs would be. So like the chest, you can get like the depth of it, right? So like this is like the bottom of the abs, and it's kind of like puffed up because we're looking from below. And then like progressively his abs would like curl down to down. So this is how his like abs to the chest would be. Like it's pushed back because it's going like this. But originally I had it just like that, basically, where the chest was like that and then like the abs were just flat. So that's why they didn't sell the illusion correctly, because it's all an illusion. This is actually just drawings. They're not actually muscles. I can draw them however I like. So let's try to do that again. Really pronounce the first row. I think I'm gonna keep this line. There we go. And then maybe just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Just push that out a little bit more. And this is going to be a little bit more hidden too. Maybe just slim it down just a bit because now it seems a little too much. There we go. Whoa. Why is it... How does his other arm get so huge? Now his other arm looks like massive. Oh, it's probably because of the forearm. I see. So let's slim down the bicep just a touch. Oops. Slim all that down. I didn't mean for the anatomy to take up the entire stream, but alas, that is where we're at. I must do what I must do. Sorry, some funky things are going on now. What just happened? Did I just make him like super skinny all of a sudden? What happened? Think about there. Oops, wrong button. He kind of looks funny, just swinging around. And it looks like he has a rocket behind him. Wow, this didn't affect his shirt at all. Mainly because the shirt is barely there. Oh god, he's gone invisible. Grab. Go. There we go. I think this feels good. I might work on it a little bit after we're done, or after the stream is done. Just on my own. Work it out a bit on paper, see if I can fix it a bit. We'll see. Let's see, where are we going? I think just maybe a little bit more in the crowd, and then we can maybe start to ink a bit already. That'd be cool. One second, let me catch up on my text. I've got a few. Okay, my brothers are just obsessing over Berserk right now, which is reasonable. Berserk is incredible. Spoilers for people who might be following my Instagram. I'm gonna be working on a Berserk themed piece in maybe like a few weeks. I got a pretty decent idea of what to draw for the next piece after the one I'm currently working on. I'm a big fan of the artist Kentaro Miura. It's just like almost impossible to argue. Like his work is literally like some of the best art that's like ever existed for any comic or manga in any country. Like his art is so good. It's like, how do you even compete? How would you even compete? Maybe the artist from One Punch Man. He also has like an insanely well detailed and can do massive things. He can't do massive pieces like Kentaro Miura can, though. Kentaro Miura has like giant pages of like armies of millions of demons, gigantic demons the size of skyscrapers, and it'll all be one piece. He has like this amazing one with like the Grim Reaper that like stretches across like an entire army. It's like, oh my goodness, Kent Armura, literally, like I will never be that good, never, and I will try my best to, but it's not gonna happen. Doesn't mean I can't stop trying. I think the pelvis might be long, because this is where his belly button is, and that's where like his waistband is. That stretches down far. Let me tweak this. Okay. I think we're good. Oh, Lord, please, I am so tired. Ugh. Okay. You're gonna take all these lines, dye them down, and see if we can start doing some actual line work now. I'm in trouble even starting the first line. It's a good sign. It's a good sign. Okay, we're gonna zoom in because I'm struggling. One sec. Okay. Oop. It made his eyes a little too curvy. I think the tops of his eyelids are actually pretty flat. It's just like a little bit of a hook at the end with his eyelashes. But I went like completely curvy mess. Like that. I do think I made them way too small though. I think we're doing okay. We could do better though. I think it might be the eyes that are freaking me out. At least for now, because I'm a little too close to the image. Does he have like the little... Oh, his eyes are like wide open. No, maybe I'll leave it, because sometimes your eyes curl whenever you're smiling really hard. So like you can see like the bottoms of your eyelids get like really tense towards the center. So that's why I do like this little curve right here. But I think maybe we can go without it. Maybe just like make it a little bit more slight. Oh, two eyes. I think we're gonna merge these now. So now we're all on one happy layer. Where would his eyes be? He wouldn't be staring at the camera. He would either be staring at the crowd or up towards the ceiling. Kind of just like basking. Maybe to the side. Kind of like... Yeah, that looks good. I'm gonna grab the line brush to do this part. The right one? This is the right one. Oh goodness, we're coming up against the time. Might give a few minutes. We'll go a little past 8, but not much. Maybe 8:30. I mean, probably like 8:40, something like that. Just a few more minutes to kind of get a little bit more acquainted with the drawing, because I feel like we barely got to know each other. We barely got started. Maybe I use this brush too much, but never mind. I can see myself getting frustrated with that. His eyes are kind of looking crazy with that laugh lines. One second. Mm. Oh god. His face is still looking a little small to me, so I might make it bigger again. Yeah, I think we'll go around there. Okay. We can go ahead and call it there for tonight. So, we got done with pretty much all the sketch lines, and we are already moving on to the inking, the final line art, you could also say. So there's still some tweaks. I might go back and tweak the anatomy. I'm kind of becoming more and more comfortable with where it's at. I think we're at a good point. It's not as awkward as Masa whenever her legs were like crossed up weirdly. So I was trying to do like her legs separating in the meeting. Hold on. I don't know if that makes any sense. Where her legs were like spread and then meet again. And they're like crossed, but they're also crossed in a very wide stance. I don't have very long fingers. I can't do it. And so I tweaked it. Sorry, I figured out what point I was trying to make. So I took it like I copied down the pose and then like fixed it on pencil and paper because sometimes actually having that in front of me is a little easier to work things out on. So I might do that. I might not. I don't think the issues I have with the anatomy are that significant for now. Trying to think. I mean, pretty much everything else is still straightforward from here. We haven't been able to have any mistakes yet. I can definitely tell this one's a lot more full than the last one. The Masa, her piece. I didn't tell until later that there was like a huge gap on the bottom right. Like I got everything filled except for that area. I think I had planned on there being like more cords and stuff on the floor. But the more and more I exaggerated the camera angle, the more that's sunk into the background. So like the wire behind her leg, you can almost not even see. Not only because of the shadow, but because it originally reached all the way to the back corner. So you could tell that it was there. You had more area to see it, if that makes any sense. But on this one, I'm not seeing any real like gaps. Like there's plenty of stuff on the bottom that will be blurred out, but you know, it will have like significance in the foreground. There's obviously the main character. He's like dead center on the camera. So there's not really any areas of his that to focus to, no gaps in his area. Maybe underneath his arms, but that's being filled up by the people in the background. And I specifically like orchestrated them around him. So like it builds him up and then it leads to the background as a pyramid, almost like where that becomes also a focus. That will be a little blurry as well, so it can also fade into the background. I guess maybe the top rightmost corners, but that's a very small area, and I don't think that's going to become an issue. I don't think that'll feel as empty. The only other things we have to keep an eye on this time around is me, and then you guys can remind me if anybody's listening. Is to watch the lighting. I think the lighting that's going to go best is maybe from directly above, because that also makes sense, because gyms usually have like lights like really, really high up, especially if you're like a Planet Fitness type gym goer like me. And that's essentially what he has as well in his animal fitness gym, animal fitness club. So yeah, maybe one from like directly above and it'll cast a shadow over his eyes. Maybe I'll make his eyes almost look like they're glowing. We'll see. I might just like completely darken him out like in his sketches. Like you could see the exact lighting I'm talking about here where it's like his eyes are cast over because the lighting comes from above. I probably could have done more there, but we're not here to critique drawings I did almost a year ago now, I think. So yeah, maybe tweak the anatomy, keep an eye on the lighting, And then color harmony. I'm gonna do a bit better of a job to make the colors work a little better. Maybe do more cool colors in the background, and then him being a very bright, warm color, like because he's gonna be like a bright red shirt. I think to also tweak the design just a tick. We're gonna give him a giant V on the shirt because he's just wearing a plain red shirt. And I think having like a little bit of a graphic, especially since his gym is like animal gym and he uses the Brujah symbol for the A. I think that's gonna work really well. So like literally will be the symbol of his clan as well as the symbol of his gym. So it like fits, so it won't provoke the attention of any humans. It'll just like look like he's wearing a gym shirt with the sleeves completely cut off. The head sizing is still a little wonky to me. It's kind of the issue with having a character with such a big body. The Hassan look, where it's like literally just like a gigantic man with tiny head. It's like I want to show off the head, but then I'm gonna like have his body take up the entire piece. Anyways. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all we need to cover. Lighting, color, maybe work on the body. Yeah, I'm really excited to keep working on this one. This one's, I really like the build. Like having the foreground, the middle ground, and the background like all working together. I think I only had the foreground. Oh, well, there's a bit of that too here. Like that, that's still an aspect of this I like. That's why I wanted so badly to have the city in the background through the window, because I wanted your eye to have something to focus on in the background as well. Sorry. Ooh. I think this character might be a little easier than Masa, because this character has a lot more bright colors on them, and this character was just completely black. Clothing wise, I'm not doing that about the race. He's Afro-Iranian, or Iranian if you like. Afro-Iranian. None of this is relevant. Yeah, having a lot of fun. Okay. So, keep an eye on my Instagram. I'm going to be posting something. I think I got a pretty good piece I'm going to be able to post. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure. You'll see. You'll see. I probably should have posted it earlier, but because today, I think that does better for the algorithm. But whatever. I'll post. So long as I'm posting something, I think that's good. Yeah, keep an eye on my Instagram. That's just Raul A. Pena, like my name. Should have a picture of my face as a profile. I don't think there's any duplicates. I'm not that popular yet. We'll worry about that bridge when we get to it. I'll be here again next Tuesday. As far as I'm aware, I have no other engagements lined up. I am going on a trip in the next 2 weeks, but I think that's all after Tuesday. Let me double check real quick. Yeah, I'll be on a Thursday all the way to like Monday. So I'll have plenty of time to be ready for the next stream. Yeah, if 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. I'd appreciate it if anybody would like to be here for the next one. Check out my Instagram. I already said that. Check out my DeviantArt. I still post that pretty regularly. It's still catching up, but you know, I might even have drawings that don't even show up on my Instagram because some drawings don't work very well, and I still might post them to DeviantArt because I don't know. I think DeviantArt has like a setup for like really just like scrapped drawings too. I mean, I could post them to Instagram, but kind of don't want people to see it. But also, I kind of do. Anyways, check out my DeviantArt if you'd like. I'd appreciate it. And then check out my YouTube. my YouTube channels. I work really hard on making all these into nice time lapses, as well as just an archive for the full stream. You could check out both below. And also, I finally got my commission sheet onto the channel, so look down below if you are interested in any kind of commissions. It's a pretty simple explanation. Choose a size of how much you want me to draw. Choose a coloring scheme, whether or not you want it no colors at all, or if you just want flats, or if you want full renders. And then a background, so you can choose like what level of background. I'm really excited to get to working on these characters. So especially if you have like D&D characters that you want me to draw, Vampire the Masquerade characters that you want me to draw, I'd love to work. You know, just email me, DM me on Instagram, or even on Twitch. Maybe not Twitch. I don't think I'm that active. DeviantArt also works. I definitely check my messages on DeviantArt. I think that pretty much wraps it up. Thanks for being here. I hope you have a great day.